I wanted to talk to you guys. I wanted to catch up because, this is just the weekly voice note, okay? From me to you, my friends, and, I don't know. Yeah, well, we're friends. You know what? We're going to be friends if you hang out and subscribe. Today, I'm going to be editing. And then I opened up my footy cards, which was an adventure on its own. I paid for 10 and received 9. Now, why the difference? And also, which time then clocks? Like, how did you know? How did you just, not, maybe you misplaced one? I looked high and low for this missing pack of cards, but could not find my 10th pack that I purchased in the stadium from the merchandise booth on my way out. The video shows that I only got 4 after the Collingwood game when I was in head-to-toe Collingwood gear, but I did get 3 cards that were worth $4 or $5 each, a couple cards that are worth $2 a piece. So in the end, I guess I'm going to be able to hopefully recuperate the cost of the pack of cards I paid for and didn't get. Of the 90 cards that I opened up, guess how many were Collingwood? You know what? I'll give you a moment. Give you a moment to take a wild guess. Go ahead, put it in the comments. How many Collingwood cards did I get out of 90 packs? 1. I got 1. And it's not even a guy who's been playing for Collingwood for a long time. It's Dan Houston, who just got traded to Collingwood for the 2025 season. Tonight is the Anzac Eve match. Anzac Eve is a newer special edition footy game to the fixture. I do really appreciate the Anzac Eve match. So the first one was last year, and I went because I go to most footy games, but I had also missed out on Anzac Day tickets again. So I missed Anzac Day tickets my first year because I just didn't know it was a thing, and then I missed it my second year because I missed the on-sale time by about 10 minutes. And so being 10 minutes late to the queue meant that there was no ticket for me, and it was a mess. Basically, there was no possibility of me going to Anzac Day in 2024. But I did see that they had a match the day before Anzac Day at night, and so I went to that. And it was really moving. I really found it to be this great, touching memorial, and I personally found, I haven't been to Anzac Day, so maybe there's something different than what they show on TV at the match, but the Anzac Day Eve match, there's a really nice ceremony for it. They light a fire for the weekend, the eternal flame, and there's a horse that goes around, and they talk about the soldiers and all the things, right? It's all the Anzac Day things, but at night and the day before. And as somebody who was not able to participate in the Anzac Day match itself on the actual day, it was really nice to be able to participate in some way and still get to enjoy my favorite sport at the same time. So that's what we're doing tonight, this fine Thursday. Since we last spoke, I haven't really been up to too much. I applied to some more jobs. I edited the last video, which if you haven't watched it, come on, check it out. And now, getting ready to meet my favorite Tiger supporter, one of my good friends from uni, and we're going to head down to the match together. Let's head to the G. We'll see the Tigers and the Demons battle it out. Both teams are on a sudden resurgence of spirits. They both won last week, and so they're coming in, high morale, big occasion, big weekend. It should be big footy too. Let's go! Somber day to everybody. It is Anzac Day. I'm here at the G. I got here about 5 hours early just so I could get one of the Anzac Day pins with the team flags on it. They're limited. They only make, I think, 10,000 of them, and they're sold here at the stadium before the game. Tracked down a group of soldiers who were selling them, and I got one. But that's besides the point. It's also Anzac Day, which is a somber day of remembrance and memorial for those who have served in the Australian and New Zealand Defence Forces. Anzac stands for Australian New Zealand Army Corps. It came into an existence alongside World War I, so at the time, Australia and New Zealand had broken away from the British Empire. They became part of the Commonwealth, and when World War I started, the British Empire summoned the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, which is what Anzac stands for, to Gallipoli, so because the British Empire wanted to capture Constantinople. It was horrific trench warfare, the horrors and depth of the horrors of which I didn't fully grasp until I went to the Te Papa Museum, which I extremely recommend to anybody, like literally just for that one exhibit. It was done by Weta Workshop, and so the craftsmanship, the depth, the detail, horrifying and amazing, transfixing, extremely educational. Anzac Day also happens to be the biggest football game of the year. This is the first one I'll be attending, and I got here like 5 hours early just to get the Anzac pin, which thankfully I did, and now I have 3 more hours until the game starts. It is a unseasonably warm but cloudy, threatening rain kind of day, so I am fully stocked with all my supplies. Currently in last year's Anzac Guernsey, I have plenty of layers. I got my raincoat, I have a rain cover for my backpack, and I'm sitting on ground level. It's going to be crazy. Unfortunately, Darcy Moore is out, but that means it's the first game that Nick Dacos is going to be captain, and that's pretty exciting. He's one of the youngest captains Collingwood's ever had. It's also the 30th anniversary of the Anzac Day game. It's a really nice day. It's very touching, and as somebody who comes from a country where the military-industrial complex is alive and well, it's nice to see a day of remembrance that isn't just this hyper-patriotic, nationalistic feeling kind of event. It is focused around the sacrifices, around the tragedy, around the bad parts, basically, of war, which is refreshing. Wow, there's already a huge queue of people waiting to get in. So I should probably go get in my line. Yeah, I will see you all after the game. Let's go Pies! I'm back from the game. I am damp, as you can see. Even though I wore a rain jacket, it's not a waterproof rain jacket. It's rain resistant, so you always get a little damp. Especially if, like me, you're gonna spend like 4.5 hours sitting in the pouring rain, watching the boys take on the Bombers, and the Pies came back with that victory. Ooh, tasted so sweet, especially because there was a Bomber in like the next half section next to us that kept being like, ooh, every time the Bombers scored. And so when the Pies walked away with it, delicious. Thank goodness I have a little rain jacket for my backpack, so I wrapped it up real good. Everything about my backpack stayed bone dry while I didn't. My hands were so pruny. They literally have just recovered by the time I got home. And tomorrow is another early game. I think it's at 1 o'clock, 1:20. Tomorrow I'm just gonna be sitting up on the 4th level. Today I was on the ground, which normally I love being on the ground level, especially for the pies, because it's ruckus, it's crazy. But because the rain was so bad, it was a little more subdued, but it was still worth it. It was absolutely worth it. I can see why people say Anzac Day game is the match of the year. 92,000 people, 92. I think the only other time that there's more people in the G is for the actual grand final. I'm thrilled. The Pies keeping that at the top of the ladder status. Love it. Probably see you tomorrow for the next game of the weekend. All right, it's Super Saturday, but there's only one game in Victoria this Saturday. So I'm gonna be watching the rest this afternoon on KO. I did head down to Marvel, treated myself to a bubble tea, and watched the Lions just crush the Saints. Are we surprised? Not really. The Saints they started out so strong, and then I don't know what happened. I don't think they know what happened either. I might order pizza. I've been trying not to, right? I've been good. I've been avoiding Uber Eats and any other delivery things. I've been cooking a lot. She's calling to me. That stuffed crust is calling. That real pepperoni is calling. That is actually one of the interesting things. There's not really any such thing as a pepperoni pizza here in Australia. They use all kinds of different sausages, Italian sausages, mostly sopressata, and none of them are pepperoni. None of them taste like American pepperoni. They're all very Italian pizzas, or they're just totally out in left field. I'm talking about like, pineapple and kiwis and like whole fruit salad on the pizza. But there is one place that does have the good pepperoni, and that's Pizza Hut. We'll see how things go. We'll see if I'm willing to wait 45 minutes to eat my first meal of the day. And yeah, I know it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We shouldn't be doing that, but that's just how the day went, okay? I had my bubble tea. Now we're gonna have the meal. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow there's a little bit of a conflict in the schedule. The Blues are playing the Cats at the G, but then only 2 hours later, games are 3 hours, typically 3 hours from start to finish. Only 2 hours after the first match starts, the Hawks are playing the Eagles at Marvel. Even if I did manage to do both, I would have to either leave the G early and go to Marvel, or I would get to Marvel and be there for like the last quarter. Not worth it, especially with that PTV schedule on a Sunday. Nah. So I think plan is right now to just go to the G tomorrow. And then I can watch the other game on my phone or whatever, or just catch the highlights. I'm sure the Hawks are gonna win, because the Eagles are just a hot mess on 100 million different levels. The Eagles are a mess. That's gonna be the agenda for tomorrow. For tonight, I'm chilling. I'm gonna put my pajamas on. I'm gonna order that pizza. And I'm just gonna watch the game and relax, because your girl is tired. We're tired, we're hungry, and I'm ready to just spend the night in, nice, quiet, peaceful evening, and just enjoy the footy. I will see you all tomorrow, though. We're gonna head back to the G, and we'll have a good time, because like the little marketing material I got with my AFL membership card, which I only just picked up out of my mailbox today. It's been sitting in there for like a month. But like the material says, nothing's better than being at the footy. I feel like today was really the super footy day. So I did go to the Cats Blues game. Oh, sadly the Cats lost, which, the Blues are finally looking like they've hit their stride. You know what? I'm impressed. And it kind of solidified the idea that maybe I'll delay moving back to New York by a week just to see the Carlton Collingwood match in July, which it's the second week in July, and I was thinking about going back the first week. I think it might be worth it to stay the extra week and a half to see my boys, the Pies, just crush the Blues. Because I know what's going to happen. I know. Otherwise, it's been a cold but wet day here, which is the kind of weather that I think is my least favorite. That is going to be it for me for the week. This was a long week. Just a lot of footy this week, and it was great. Filled my soul with joy. Also, lovely to remember the Anzacs and their sacrifice that they've made for Australia and the world, and for America too. America and Australia, we're like Defense Force BFFs. And the Australians basically follow the Americans into all the dumb wars that we'd started in the 2000s. So it felt nice to honor, like I said, honor that sacrifice. Next week, I think I'm going to be playing a lot of video games because there's some new content that dropped in Destiny 2. So if you are on Twitch and want to hang out with me, you can follow me along, the link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you here next week for a new adventure. Thank you so much for coming along with me for the ride this week. Because don't forget, you could be spending your time with anybody, but you chose to spend it with me. And that's what I appreciate about you. I'll see you all next week for a new adventure, a new chapter, as I slowly say farewell to my life that I've absolutely loved living here in Melbourne. See you in the next one. Bye!
They shall grow not old, as us to the left grow old. They shall not weary them, yet the years continue. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.